Welcome to JDT Education Channel Sri Lanka. Today we are going to learn the lesson 1.4 of A-Level Information and Communication Technology. Like the video, subscribe and get notified about the next lesson. The lesson outline includes the elements of total computer system. Let's learn about the elements of total computer system. The total computer system can be categorized into 4 parts. The 4 parts are hardware, software, firmware, and liveware. Let's learn about the first part of the total computer system. The first part of the total computer system is computer hardware. So let's learn what is computer hardware. All the physical and tangible parts of the computer is known as computer hardware. Computer hardware can be internal, that means located inside the system unit, or external. The meaning of external means located outside of the system unit. Computer hardware can be categorized into 5 parts. That is, input devices, output devices, memory devices, processing devices, and networking devices. Let's learn about the first category of computer hardware. That is, input devices. All the parts of the computer used to feed data into the computer are called as input devices. Examples: mouse, keyboard, scanner, and microphone. Now it's the time to learn the second part of computer hardware. That is, output devices. All the parts of the computer which represents information are called as the input devices. Examples: monitor, printer, and speakers. Let's learn about the third category of computer hardware. That is, memory devices. A memory is used to store data and instructions. Computer memory is the storage space in the computer system where data is to be processed and instructions required for processing are stored. The memory is divided into a large number of small parts called cells. Each location or cell has a unique address. Computer memory can be categorized into 3 parts. That is, primary memory, secondary memory, and cache memory. Let's learn about the first type of computer memory. That is, primary memory. Primary memory can be also called as main memory or RAM and ROM or internal memory. That can be categorized into 2 as random access memory and read-only memory. Let's learn the differences between random access memory, and read-only memory. RAM is the memory available for the operating system, programs, and processors to use when the computer is running. And ROM is the memory that comes with your computer that is pre-written to hold the instructions for booting up the computer. RAM requires a flow of electricity to retain data, and ROM will retain data even without the flow of electricity. RAM is a type of volatile memory. That means data in RAM is not permanently written, and when you power off your computer, the data stored in the RAM will be deleted. And ROM is a non-volatile memory. That means data in ROM is permanently written and is not erased when you power off your computer. There are different types of RAM are available. One is dynamic random access memory and the other one is static random access memory. And when you think about ROM, there are different types of ROMs also available, and programmable read-only memory is one type of that, and that is manufactured as blank memory. And the other type of ROM is erasable programmable read-only memory. Now it's the time to move to the next type of memory, that is secondary memory. Data storage that retains its contents when the computer is switched off can be called as secondary memory, and it can be used to hold both programs and data. In secondary memory, when a program runs or loads a file, it will copy from the secondary memory into the internal memory. Accessing the files from secondary memory is slower than the accessing of files from internal memory. Also, data stored in secondary memory is permanent and not lost when the computer is turned off. Now it's time for us to move to the third or the last category of memory, that is the cache memory. A small size type of volatile computer memory that provides high-speed data access to a processor and stores frequently used computer programs and applications and data can be called as cache memory. Cache memory is the fastest memory in a computer and is typically combined onto the motherboard and directly fixed in the processor or random access memory. Let's learn the fourth category of computer hardware, that is processing devices. CPU or the central processing unit or processor is considered as the brain of the computer and the most common processing device of a computer, which has the control of all other components. Central processing unit can be mainly categorized into two parts. First one, arithmetic and logic unit. You can also call it as ALU. And the second part is control unit. And also you can call it as CU. Let's learn about arithmetic and logic unit. all the mathematical calculations and all the comparison operations, such as comparing two numbers to find the largest, is handling by the ALU of the computer. The second type of central processing unit is the control unit. It fetches the instructions from the computer memory and issues necessary signals to the other parts of the computer. When you learn about the CPU, the knowledge about the GPU or the graphics processing unit also important. That is a specialized electronic circuit designed to quickly operate and change memory to speed up the creation of images in a frame buffer planned for output to a display. It's time for us to learn the last part of computer hardware, that is networking devices. Physical devices are used to connect computers or other electronic devices together so that they can share files or resources like printers or fax machines are called as networking devices. For examples, router, modem, switches, and hubs. Dear students, this is a special note which all of you have to remember. That is, input devices, output devices, and secondary storage devices are called as peripheral devices. This is because they usually attach physically to the outside. Also, you can call it as the periphery of the unit that houses the CPU and memory. It's time for us to move to the second part of total computer system, that is software. A set of instructions and its related documentations that tells a computer what to do or how to perform a task is called as computer software. Computer software can be categorized into two as system software and application software. Let's learn the first category of computer software, that is system software. System software can be divided as operating systems, utility software, and language translators. Let's learn the first category of system software, that is operating systems. System software that communicates with the hardware and allows other programs to run is known as operating systems. For examples, Windows, Linux, and Mac operating system. Let's learn the second category of system software, that is utility software. System software that helps set up, analyze, threaten, and maintain a computer is known as utility software. For example, virus guards and device drivers. The last category of system software is language translators. A translator is a program that converts instructions written in a programming language into the machine language instructions. For example, assembler, compiler, and interpreter. It's time to learn the second type of computer software, that is application software. Application software is any program or group of programs that is designed for the end users. Application software can be categorized as follows. First one, general purpose software. Second one, special purpose software. And third one, bespoke software. Let's learn about the first category, general purpose software. You can also call this as off-the-shelf software. That means you can buy it at a shop or download it online. This particular software is written for a wide audience and not all of the features are used. And also, the software is relatively cheap and usually well tested. For examples of general purpose software, we can say word processing software like Microsoft Word, spreadsheet software like Microsoft Excel, presentation software like Microsoft PowerPoint, and database software like Microsoft Access. It's time to learn the second type of application software, that is special purpose software. This is a type of software created to execute one specific task. For example, movie editor, sound editor, and photo editor. Let's learn the last category of application software, that is bespoke software. This software is tailor-made for a specific user and purpose. For example, factory may need a special software to run a robot to make cars uniquely. Software can be categorized as open source software and proprietary software according to the license. Let's learn the first category, open source software. Computer software in which source code is released under a license in which the copyright holder grants users the rights to study, change, and distribute the software to anyone and for any purpose is known as open source software. The second software classification according to the license is proprietary software. Software that is owned by an individual or a company is known as proprietary software. The source code is not available in this type of software and the owner is only given permission to the user to use. It's time for us to learn the third part of the total computer system, that is computer firmware. A computer program that is fixed in a hardware device, that is an essential part of the hardware, is called as computer firmware. It is sometimes called as embedded software as well. In computers, firmware is fixed in ROM and it handles the booting up process of computer. Let's learn about the fourth part and the last part of today's lesson, that is computer liveware. Liveware is used to represent people using computers and is based on the need for a human to operate the system using hardware and software. This is the summary of today's lesson and you can keep it for your future reference.